Hi guys, how are you doing? Let me bring Andy back online. Hey Brittany. Oh, I see Brittany on here.
You see
I
Malik just text me.
he did. I don't see him. How do I let's see.
Send him a request.
All right, guys, you guys are gonna have to add the questions on the little question box thing here. I don't see Malik on here, Andy.
You know the name is you know his name?
Malik Carter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm following him or if he got deleted from my from my follow or from my people I'm following. You see him on here?
Yeah, but I don't see him on there.
How are you guys doing? If you have questions, please add them to the little question box thing. Oh, Shay's on here. All right, we're trying to bring somebody else online, guys. Um, Malik, are you on here? And I just missed you. I don't see you. All right, let me add him to as my friend on here. Oh, hold on. I know what I'm gonna do. Did you ask him to come on?
Told him we're waiting on him.
Oh, it's right here. He's right here. Malik, can you ask to? There you go. I just accepted it.
There we go. What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's going
Sorry, I
on?
was trying to find you on here.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. So I went up at first, and I was like, wait, that's the wrong day. I know we changed the days like three, four times. I had to look back in. I didn't find
you know,
it. But
you
now,
know, you know what? I that day that Andy canceled the first time, I was praying so hard that he was gonna cancel it because I wasn't gonna cancel it. Like we both got sick, right? So I was
mm,
like, I'm in my bed, like sleeping, and then I see the text message come from Andy. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. he, he canceled it first.
yeah, nah, man. So, what's up with you guys?
So
Chilling
Andy's
and
been
chilling.
he's been talking a lot about you. He's the one that's all about social media. He's been talking so many things about you, like great things.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You know what? The past 3 months, matter of fact, almost 6 months, I slowed down social. I used to be on here like every day going, and I
Uh-huh.
burnt out. I took a and but now I think I'm tell you what it was, right? Pocky in the
Who?
Orlando, Pocky from Hood Estates.
No.
All right, so Pocky is him and his wife Sandy. They're Hood Estates, right? They out of my and now that they in Orlando, something. But any rate, they do trucking. So we were going to do fencing, so partner Justin.
You're
Po-
breaking out, Malik.
oh, it's breaking up.
You're
All right,
yeah,
Yeah.
you're choppy.
yeah, it's these. All right, let me see. I was about,
It's,
I was about changing phone. Phone is charged. That ain't gonna work. So so Pocky from Hood Estates, right? We were going, and Pocky has like 5. 1,000 organic at the time followers. And the way the algorithm work is like they want you to spend so much time on here to get your data, but I'm also paying for ads. I'm like, look, I'm not about to Facebook my time and my money. Y'all gotta choose one, right?
Correct.
Like, so I gave him my money and I stopped giving him my time. But now, now I'm re-energized back. I'm gonna start spending some more time on here, especially right now, because a lot of people have this cycle. I've been through it, so I think I need to come back on here and explain me and how I overcome.
Correct. What city you in?
So I'm in Philly.
In Philly?
Yeah, I'm in Philly. I do most in Philly. I did a flip in Durham, North Carolina. Land that we about to start building on North Carolina. I put an offer in on a lot in Durham, North Carolina. But how they do their tax auction, it was a tax auction. But how they do theirs, they've never seen before, right? So I went to the auction last Tuesday. Won the bid for the 8,000.
You said 8,000?
For 38.
38.
Right. And so, but there's a day upside period, right? So meaning that even though I won that day, they still have 10 days to pay. And it goes on forever.
Yeah.
Right. So there is no end to the auction. But the first is you can only increase your bid by 5% at a time. So I'm willing to go up. Right. So right now the 51,000. Right. So last week 51,000 a day. But you can only increase by 5% at a time. So if I want to just say 60 today, can't do it. They don't let you.
Only 5%.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Malik, how about you talk about, like, tell the people who you are. Like, I don't, the only reason I even know about, like, the people that we come on live is because of Andy. So talk a little bit about yourself.
All right. So, yeah, definitely know Carter, real estate coach, Carter, him, half cash flow partner, Justin. Hey, is it still breaking up?
Yeah, really choppy, Malik. I have to read your lips.
Listen, what I'll do is my other phone is like 20%. Let me join from that. Hold on. Let me join from that one and see if it's better. That way I know if it's me or not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
In the meantime, Andy, do you want to talk about who you are?
I'm Andy Buy Houses. What I do is I teach people how to build houses using credit cards. We take the credit cards, we get LLCs, get high business credit cards, take the money off the credit cards, use that to start the build, get you down to the foundation or either the walls up. Then we take hard money and finish the rest of the project. And then after we finish the project, we either sell or either you can keep it and you can refi to get your money back and repeat the process. So that's what I do. That's what I teach. We got a boot camp coming up September 10th and 11th where we're teaching everybody how to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I put the last bit, right? So you said you buy.
And then after we get the foundation of the walls up, then we could refi it. Go ahead and refi with a hard money lender, and that pay for the rest of the project. Pay off some of them cards, and then we just either sell it or either refi it, whatever we decide to do.
Okay, and so let's real quick. So am I better now?
Yeah, wait, 100% better.
Hey, so listen. So that now this is going to add fire to the Android iPhone debate. This is the Android.
I'm on my Android too.
So the Android for the win for this one.
I'm on iPhone.
That's why you look a little blurry.
No, that's your height. No, we already talked about that. You need glasses.
All right, so no, listen, I don't know how I started following you, man. That they came back, didn't it?
No, you good.
Okay, so I don't know how I started following you, but I only follow people that either you got to teach me or inspire me or motivate me. Like, if you don't do any of those things, I don't follow you, man. But I came across you, like, you started, watching what you're doing, especially as I am transitioning to learn how to build. As a matter of fact, before I even get into that, I forgot to introduce myself as I went out. So, like I said, one half of the Cash Flow Bros. I invest here in Philadelphia. I am a realtor. I was a mortgage banker prior to 2008, and then I actually lost everything in the Great Recession and had to start. I lost my business, foreclosed on houses, had to move back home with my folk. Like, was down to my last dime, like for real. And then I had to, figure out a way out of it. So I ended up, getting a job and at LA Fitness, and shit, I'm a fat guy, man. LA Fitness was not an easy thing to sell memberships. That was not an easy thing, right? And so, I did that, and then but I had my real estate license still, and so I kept that, and I kept at it after a while. Then I got a job at the housing authority, so I was managing public housing up here, and then it just I started coming back in this full time. And I was, let me just go ahead and bet on me, man. I just came back out in these streets full time, real estate streets, and it paid off, man. It paid off. And now I buy mostly rentals. I do some flips because of last time I'm debt averse. I don't want to borrow as much money as I did like last time. I could have way more stuff, man, but I was so over leveraged last time, so I don't want to do it again. I'm too old to be trying to start over again this time, so I'm gonna be way more careful now. And then, like I said, but I'm really moving into new construction. I bought like 6 lots up here in Philly, and I got 3 lots in North Carolina, and I got the bid on 1. So now we're working on clearing off the 3 in North Carolina. We're just gonna only clear off 1 first. We're not gonna do it all at the same time. North Carolina got partners, and Philly, I got 2 partners, and I own a couple lots here by myself. The 1 lot that I bought is it's like 3,500 square feet, but it has the zoning of RM1, which means I can do multifamily. So I can by right build 9 units on that one. And then the other 2 lots that I got the plans for the other day, I could build 4 units apiece on those, and that's right by Temple Hospital. It's the hood, but so much great stuff going on over there, And the thing, and I got that off market. The guy sold it to me. It was a great deal. He got both lots like 7 years ago for $6,000, and he sold both lots to me for $73,000 total, right? But somebody on the next block paid $100,000 for one of their lots.
How do you find them?
So we always off market, right? What we do is, so I wrote 2 ebooks. I'm gonna tell you the second one that I wrote, it's called Property PI, right? How to find off market properties, mainly for realtors, for wholesalers. And I had that book, and that book did pretty well. And right now it's dealsonarrival.com. People can find it there. But the other book that I wrote that nobody bought was called Getting Rich Slow. And nobody wanted to hear that. It's called Getting Rich Slow. Nobody wanted to hear that. Nobody put that book.
They wanted to
nobody wanted to get rich slow. Right. So that's what I'm doing now. And to be honest with you, I tell people all the time, I should have been doing new construction, but I was afraid. My confidence wasn't where I feel like it should be. But I'm sitting here buying these raggedy houses for 30,000, 40,000. I could have been jumped to new construction. Like I'm
Right.
out 60,000 cash on some of these houses. I could have been with the new construction, but like I said, that fear factor, not having a mentor, not having anybody teach me, and the one thing that really gave me the most confidence, man. Reg the Builder.
No, where he at? What city?
So he's in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Nah.
And Red, solid dude. He does like 33 houses a year, but has been doing it for a while. Older guy. And so I started following Reg from Asia, Lady Contractors. He on his page, so I followed her through him. And so he posted one day that he could build a house in 6 weeks. And I just wrote under that book. Listen, I never even met Bo before, right? And I wrote under that post was like, oh, gee, I need to see that, right? And he said, fall through. It just so happens that I was going to Atlanta like that next week, and Chattanooga's hour and a half. So I'm like, listen, I'll be there. He said, come Monday. And I went to Chattanooga on that Monday. I spent half a day with him, and he really showed me all of his systems, like how he's able to do it. Now, it takes him longer if he's building more houses at one time, of course, but he only uses one crew. I'm thinking he had multiple crews. Like, no, it's just that one crew. We got a couple subs, but for the main part, the same crew over and over again. And he really busted these houses out. Like, he drove through neighborhoods, he get them up. And so that's kind of what gave me the confidence, not only to do new construction, but also to do new construction like in a mid-market town, which is why I went to North Carolina.
Right.
Got a lot of confidence from there, and so I'm ready to go now. Like I'm ready to get busy.
Yeah, so Andy didn't he didn't talk about his background, like the reason why he got into building or using credit cards, or why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I got into using credit cards, 'cause got a background, got a past, went to prison, did like 4 years in prison. So, when you get out of prison, it's hard for people to trust you. It's hard for people to lend you anything, do anything for you. So we couldn't get no financing through no banks or nothing. And it was hard to get hard money too. So we had to find a way, a way to start. So I was using my cash, got tired of using cash, and you can only use so much cash and only go so far. So we just thought of the idea like, well, it's easy for us to get credit cards. All we gotta do is get a business LLC, get some high limit cards, take the money off the cards and just use that. So I just came up with that little concept. So we started doing that. And then we just put the whole play together. Use that to start and get the hard money after that to finish. And then it costs you no money to do the whole thing.
But let me ask you this though. So even before then, how do you even get to you want to build a house?
Me?
Yeah, how do you get there?
Well, first I did the wholesaling. I did a fix and flip. Then I seen it where like it wasn't too many deals coming through for me no more. And the money that I was making off of wasn't too big. It was like, let's say no more than 60 grand.
Hold on, he's only talking about the big numbers. Talk about the jersey selling, the car paint.
That was all before. That was fresh out of prison. After prison, that's when I had a job for like a little nursing home down here, working for a year in the kitchen, washing dishes. Got tired of doing all that. So then I said I'm gonna figure out do something on my own. So I went to New York, grabbed me some throwback jerseys, grabbed me some baby fat, grabbed me some CDs, and I just went on the corner and started selling that. So I did that for probably like 3-4 years. Then at the same time I was going to school to learn how to paint cars. So I started painting cars and I opened up my own paint shop. So after my paint shop, I did that for like 9 years. Got tired of people complaining, keep bringing their car back and all that. So I just decided I'm gonna do real estate. So I bought my first property in like 11, a duplex. I just bought it. I wasn't really thinking about getting into real estate. I just bought it because it was cheap. Then in 2016, I decided to take it serious. So I started doing the wholesaling. Then I started doing the fix and flip, like the houses that didn't close, like nobody went by. I just closed on it myself, put a little makeup on it, then just sell it to another investor. I did that for a little bit, and then in 2020, I just decided this ain't enough for me. I need something more. So that's what made me. I debated for like 4 months. Like I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I ain't know no people. I ain't know nobody. No contacts. Didn't know none of the steps. I ain't had nobody to show me. So I just said, I'm gonna just go ahead and try it. I just went ahead and tried it, and it took me like 11 months for that first house. But once I got it, I sold it, and that check, the check was so nice that I had to repeat it.
Now you got, and the thing with new construction is I was like looking around, like you could put new construction in the hood and it's still gonna go. Like even like on like some of the worst hoods, that thing's still gonna go, no matter what.
Our hood house is going for 375. I'm a 400 in the hood.
Was it you in Florida, man? You in that great market. Like now, it depends on what towns I'm in. Like a lot of my towns, 180. So I'm only gonna do like 1,200 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. All cheap. The
Right.
reason why I chose North Carolina, one, I went to college there, right? I went to Durham, North Carolina Central University, and I got a partner there, so it's a little easier. But two, their new construction houses, like the $500,000 houses,
Yeah.
our Section 8 properties look better than their houses for $500,000.
Yeah.
Because Philly is competitive. Like we get busy in these houses. We doing trade ceilings. We doing all types of different lighting. We ordering. This is for Section 8. This is not even we ain't talking about for a flip. Like we really getting busy, right? Because it's competitive. And so, like down there, do you use tile in your houses at all?
Just the bathrooms. I use vinyl planks.
So right now in their house down there for 500,000 is vinyl plank throughout, kitchen, bathroom, everywhere. And
Right.
listen, and they use tub surround kits. $500,000. I'm like, wait a minute. How much money would it save me if I had to put no time and time with no tiles? I'm like, I could kill it. I'll kill it
Right.
down here. Because what we doing like it's very competitive. We out here trying to outdo each other. Like I'm doing stuff. We doing matte black doorknobs and changing the hinges, and we got the different colored doors. We really getting busy with Section 8. So I know on our flips, it's gonna be out of here.
How
It's
much
gonna
is
be
the
out of here. That's why I
house?
chose North Carolina.
How much are the 3-2 selling there, Malik?
And North Carolina or Philly?
And you're in Philly, right?
In both.
Yeah, I'm in Philly. So a 3 and 2. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's block by block. And I'm gonna give you an example. Was it last year, a year and a half ago? So I had two houses. I had 5112 Delancey and I had 5215 Delancey. So it's the same street, just you got to cross 52nd Street. It's the difference. 52nd Street is dividing line from neighborhoods. I sold 5112 Delancey. I sold that one for $290.
Yeah.
I sold 100 yards away, just about. I sold that one for like 194, almost 200.
What
So
was
just
the
800 yards, it's almost $100,000 difference. So it's
How was the
like block by
promise?
block for real, right?
Right.
And so it is different, right? But and the numbers were just creeping up. I did a flip. This is a flip I sold that maybe like 6 months ago, and I sold it for 280, which was a record number. Nobody ever gotten that on this block in particular, right? 2 months later, a guy in the block got 300,000, just that quick.
Yeah.
He could get 300,000, like
That's
in
easy,
2 months, and so like the kind like it's just different. So Philly is, but I play in like the workforce housing range, right? I like to stay in like that mid threes and lower. I did find 2 lots today in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the
Right.
lady is 0.94 acres, right? The lady, she wants $300,000. I'm like, lady, ain't nobody paying you $300,000 for that 0.94 acres, right? I did the comps. The neighborhood selling for 1.4. I'm like, you know what? Let me think about this. Let me think about this real fast. And so I'm gonna go back to her. I'm gonna go back to her for say if she want to take like 230 for the pair. But yeah, she got to run that. I'm trying to do the math. Like But here's the thing, right? I don't want to be at 200 square foot to build the $1.4 million house. And
Right.
I probably got to be at 200 square foot versus like 120 or something like that, for like a regular mid range. And so, but the house that sold, the ones that are selling for 1.4, 1.5, got a pool and they like 5,000 square feet. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know if the risk reward is there. I'm saying if I build 5,000 square feet, I'm going to be in it for like 1.1. And so there's money to be made, but I still got to have $1 million out there.
We got to spend a lot of money to get it.
You got to spend a lot of money to get it. But I don't know if you know anything about Raleigh, man, but Raleigh is the one of the, as soon as you put a rendering, it's sold.
Yeah.
It's sold. As soon as you do a rendering, it's out of here.
Yeah.
Like that market is growing so much, right? And let me tell you this one thing, right, real quick, and we can get back to you. One of the main reasons I decided to even go to North Carolina is because even people with money are having a problem finding housing in like that Raleigh-Durham area. The reason why is a lot of jobs are coming. Google already came. They've been had, the Johnson & Johnsons, the Cisco, the IBM. They've been had all them. But then Facebook came. Apple bringing 3,000 people, and that haven't started yet. And that 3,000 people is average income of 165, right? Nike got another campus coming there. It's a Vietnamese electric car manufacturers come in there. They're bringing 7,500 jobs. So it's like the area is growing like crazy,
Right.
and people there really got bread, right? And so I'm not doing it in Florida, but here's the thing, right? Here in Philly or Georgia even, I want to buy a house. I put a deposit down, right? Earnest deposit. I do my due diligence or not, my choice, and then I go closing the property. How they do it in North Carolina is there's the earnest deposit and due diligence. You familiar with that?
Earnest deposit.
So,
No.
so what they do is they put
like
they
7 weeks. I mean, like a week to do your due diligence.
so right here,
14
but
days.
here, well, it's whatever you put in there, right? So you put your earnest deposit down,
Right.
right? And then the due diligence is different. The due diligence goes to the seller now, today. So when I sold my property in Durham last May, I sold it for like 320, right? They put down 5,000 in earnest deposit and 10,000 due diligence. That 10,000 was in my account in 3 days. So I
Yeah.
got that right now. So whether they walk away or not, don't matter. I already got that 10,000. It's in my pocket. And so what the wealthier people are doing, they're going over $100,000 over asking, and they're putting down like 40, 50,000 due diligence. And I'm like, wait, I get that 50 right now? Like, yo, run that, run it, run it. And so there's a lot of people there that are pre-approved for 300, 400, 500, but they don't have 30, 40,000 due diligence.
Right.
See? They might got 10, 15, 20,000 dollars, but the big boys are putting down 50, and they're not playing like, listen, I want this house regardless. This is my crib. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And
And
so, you get the money in 3 days. The money's in your account right now.
What city doing that?
That's the whole state. That's how the state of North Carolina does it.
Oh, Carolina.
Carolina.
That's how the state of North Carolina. That's how North Carolina, right? And so, the more competitive the area right now, the more competitive areas, of course, like the Raleigh-Durham is stupid, and then Charlotte is out of control, right? So it's like both of those markets is the same thing, but Raleigh more so than Charlotte. Like you can't find, that's right now. It's out of control there, and that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me go down and compete because that's my old stopping ground. I already found one. I got a few other opportunities. Matter of fact, I found another one yesterday, like 4.5 acres, but I gotta actually see it. It backs up to a train track, and I don't know. Is it how bad is it that it's by a train track? I don't know. So I will have to do some more research on that. But I found some opportunities down there, man. But what I also have to learn is septic tank versus city water, city sewer. I don't have to deal with that.
Got to
You know,
change
so these are things,
and water wells.
right? So these are things that I don't know, man. So, but real quick though, so you said in 2020 you decided to try your hand at new construction, and you've
Right.
been going full-fledged ever since then. Out of here.
Yes. Yes. That's what I've been doing. Took off. Like after that first one, I learned all the ropes, got my crew, learned how to build crews, and just been going ever since. Like I got 5 going on now. And I got 2 more that I'm finna go ahead and throw the plans in on and do 2 more. So add 2 more to that.
Yeah, so my one of my homies here, he bought a lot down in Cape Coral, and my niece is in Fort Myers. I think she want to get busy out Fort Myers, but so I don't know. I might have to pull. I'm telling you, I might pull up on you for real, for real. So you in you're not that far, right?
Yeah,
From Cape Coral?
I'm probably like 3-4 hours from there. I'm in
Oh,
Tampa.
that's a long enough way though. So what I'm hearing though is that high speed rail between Orlando and Tampa is supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, they do. We're gonna bring a lot more people there, a lot more tourist attractions. But you know,
So let me.
Tampa
So
high
do you?
anyway, just comes the sports teams. The sports team making them hot. They keep winning. Tampa Bay Lightning, Tampa Bay Rays, Bucks. Putting the
Man,
spotlight
let me
on.
tell you this, man. It's like all the white boys from South Philly are in Clearwater every year for preseason. Like the whole South Philly down that thing.
Right.
They in Clearwater for preseason Phillies all the time. So now, so you decided, so you went full fledged, and so what made you decide to do a mentorship?
I just wanted to start. I got to do. You know, I'm in recession proof. You know about recession proof?
Yeah, I'm in it. I saw that joint. I saw you posting there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there. So I met Gigi through there. Then I met this other guy through there too, and he was telling me he was coaching. My dude Mark Todd. He was telling me about like I need all to teach it. But me, I was like, I ain't getting in front of no camera. I ain't do no videos. I won't talk to people like that. So I said, no, I ain't gonna do that. But then I just started thinking about it. And then we might as well go ahead and do it. Start showing people, how to do it. Because it's another way to teach people how to do it. It's another way to build a big circle. And you can always make money off it. So it's like another stream of income. And it's just teaching people, and it's also like building a circle, building your own team. You know, like we always want that team of people around us that we could talk to with like-minded. So that's what I'm trying to create. Some like-minded people. Everybody talk about something. We got something to talk about. Everybody doing the same thing.
You know, and that's a good point, man, because most people don't realize how lonely this journey is.
Right.
This is the lonely journey, man. I'll be looking around like, yo, who the hell? I got something to talk about. I got nobody to talk to. Like nobody. Like I got a couple of homies, and I find myself talking to people that I just happen to meet on social media. I become closer to people that I never met in real life. I'm saying because they can relate more to what I'm doing than people I grew up with, like what I'm right now. Like this is a lonely. Anytime you're building wealth and doing something different, it's lonely, right? The only time, listen, it's crowded at the bottom.
Right.
You got at the bottom, you got all the company you want. Like all the company you want. When you start to climb up out of that bottom and you look around, like, dang, ain't nobody even around here.
No.
Like
Well,
you
who
gotta
can I
leave that
talk?
crowd to get up there. If you stay with that crowd, you ain't gonna never make it. Cause they gonna
Listen,
you
you have
they gonna steal
yeah,
you getting up there. Man,
you listen, you gotta find your tribe, man. You gotta find your tribe. But I saw you had the YouTube GOAT out there. Erica is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, for real. A lot of people don't know who Erica is. She's a monster, man.
Yes.
People have been realizing she a monster. She kills stuff. You know, more people should know who she is, but I'm sure she's known in other circles, man. But Erica, like, she's a national treasure.
Let me see if she's
For real,
on
Erica's
here.
crazy.
Yeah,
She's on here now?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, man. So yeah, you got her out there. So I met her. I was at MG the Mortgage Guys event in New York a couple years ago as a speaker, and that's the first time I met her and Andre Hatchett. And then I went January 20. I went to the Earn Your Leisure event. When I saw Andre in person, You know, like we embrace each other, hug each other, like we was like long time like brothers, but just off of just Instagram, like not even like real life, man. So it's much as she's the yeah, now Eric is the truth. So now I definitely want to come down. Your next event is in September.
Yes, it's September 10th and 11th in Clearwater, Florida. It's at on Clearwater Beach.
Oh, so Clearwater Beach. So what's your market?
St. Pete, Tampa, and Newport Richie.
Oh, the whole okay. So,
But mostly St. Pete. I got most of my properties in St. Pete though.
so
St. Pete go a little hotter than Tampa.
or do you prefer to hold them or sell them?
Hold them, refi, either Airbnb or rent them out to traveling nurses. Get double the
Yeah.
cash.
So I prefer holding also. But my thing is just the single family right just no longer appeals to me. I've been doing it for so long. It's like for the same like your cost to build multifamily is the same cost per square foot, maybe slightly different, right? To multifamily. So what I'm probably going to start doing is like really building more multifamily versus single family. The lots that I have now in North Carolina, they're all single family lots. But the next ones I try to get, I'm gonna try to do all multifamily. I don't think I want to do any. I don't think I want to do any single family. If I can avoid it, if I find something amazing, cool, single family. Or if I could do even a community, but just one house. I got my tenants here, and I have a property manager still, but at some point, there's still going to be some headache with it. With the rentals, there's always going to be something. It's never going to be perfect, right? And
Monique,
just now, I'm like, you know what? Why not just go multifamily? If I can do it, why not just go multifamily?
That's what I'm doing next. I'm going multifamily. What you got to say, Gigi?
I was gonna ask him, how did you get the capital to start off in real estate?
I started off. Philly been cheap for a long time, right? It got more expensive over the past recent years, and so after I lost the building, and everything else, the first house back into it was only 20,000, and I had two partners. We bought it for 20, and we only put 20,000 into it, and tried to no, threw it back. My very first house after flip, I still own it. I couldn't sell it at all. I still got it right now. This was years ago, but I paid 18,000 for that property, and what I did is I used a line of credit. I had a line of credit from the bank for 15,000, and I didn't have $2,500 to settle on the property, so I used a credit card, the line of credit, for the down payment, and I bought that house, and then I fixed it up, and I couldn't sell it, and so I just refinanced it, and then I used that. I refinanced it. It appraised for like 45 or something like that. So I took out like $15,000, 30,000, something like that. 15, probably 30 something thousand to pay my on the credit back, pay the original note, and then have another like 15,000 or so. And I partnered with two people to do my next flip, and we couldn't flip that one. We ended up renting it out for 2 years, and then we just sold it for what we were into it for. And then two of us, we bought another property for 55,000, and we had it under contract for 190. At the time, it was the record on that block, 190. We put like about 40 something into it, right?
Yeah.
We had it under contract for 190. The day of the inspection, the person went through, found out somebody had broken in and stole all the appliances out.
Wow. No.
And that spooked them, right? That spooked them. They walked away. I'm like, man, you're buying a house in a gentrifying area. It ain't gentrified yet. Just go ahead and listen, things will happen, right? And so he backed out. But listen, we were doing so bad, we had to actually borrow money to rebuy the appliance. We didn't have $2,000 between the two of us. We didn't have $2,000 like to rebuy the appliances. We had to borrow the money to rebuy the appliances, and then our loan was coming due, and we took the next offer, which was the cash offer, at 174. So right, we still made some good bread, and after that was, it. That was it. But here's why I like keeping that same house. That was maybe 11 years ago now, something. But that same house, 425 easy.
Right.
Wow.
Easy 425. You know, even like the house I'm in now, house I'm in right now, I bought this house 7 or 8 years ago. I paid 117, I think, for my house. It's a 3-story, 2,500 square feet. Oh, I call it 2,500 square feet. I put like 40,000 into it, and it
Yeah.
ain't done yet. It still needs stuff, and it never got it totally done. That was good enough. You know what I'm
When you
saying?
move in and you never get it done.
It moved to never get it done, right? I got so many unfinished projects in my crib, right? Right. And so, but now a house in the next block, a 2-story, just sold for 425.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just that quick. It's a 2-story. And
Right.
so my house is zone multifamily. So I already identified my next property. I already own it. The house I grew up in. I'm gonna renovate that one and move into that one, and this one I'm gonna convert to a 3-unit.
Mm.
You know, and that's it. So anyway, that's how I got started. But yeah, so Philly market, man, it's just been it's insane, man. And with no bias, I think Philly is the best market in the country. Like as far as existing properties, as far as developing. It's probably Texas, North Carolina, but existing properties, there's nothing competing with Philly because we already been eds and meds. You know, our whole biotech scene, like we got 50,000 jobs coming in the next 18, 24 months.
Wow.
That's 50,000. And the thing is, Philadelphia does a terrible job of educating the citizens. So the people in those jobs are not going to be from Philly.
Right. Out
You
of
know,
state.
so yeah, they're gonna be out of state. So yeah, the numbers here is gonna keep going crazy. It's gonna constantly go and go and go. And so my personal strategy is I'm gonna buy to sell in North Carolina. I'm gonna sell North Carolina, use that income and reinvest in Philly rentals.
Mm.
That's
So
my
you
because Philly because the flips here are hard to find. The flips are terrible, are hard to find. But you can find rentals all day.
Mm.
yeah.
But the flips are the problem, right? And so, yeah, but like I said, but they're not 18,000 anymore. You know, they're not 30,000 how they used to be.
Anywhere these days, you ain't gonna find no low numbers like that.
Shit, man, you go to Milwaukee and St. Louis. They're probably the only 2 towns that I know.
Dayton, Ohio, something like that, probably still got them. But in too many places that cheap.
Cleveland, listen, the past 2 years, like everybody named mom done bought Cleveland. Everybody named mom been buying Cleveland up.
I've been hearing about Cleveland and Baltimore. A lot of people around in Baltimore too.
Baltimore high now too, though. Baltimore expensive now. Baltimore ain't like how it used to be. Baltimore, yeah. So you know, you know Beyond and Drake out of Cleveland and Casanita.
Yeah, I follow Beyond.
So Drake, he had a turkey giveaway. He came to Philly from one of my events. So in return of favor, he had a turkey giveaway in Cleveland, and I went out there for that, help him with that event, which is a great event. And like him, Beyond, and you know, Nita, they took excellent care of me, man. They was like, leave while at home. They showed me, and so when they were showing me around, I really understood why people were buying in Cleveland, right? Because even though it was hood, it was like it was still on a Great Lake. They still had 2 colleges there. You know, they got the Mayo. They do have stuff. So understand. Plus, you can buy a duplex like 40,000. You know, and that's probably almost that's a fixer upper. That's not even like a shell. It's a fixer upper for like 40,000, like something like Lipstick. So I understood why people were buying there, but I don't like to follow like the crowd. Everybody buying there, I'm probably gonna fall back. I'm probably gonna go elsewhere. I'm gonna do that because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get all these novice investors that's gonna come into your market. They can be overpaying for stuff. Projects not gonna get finished. The next thing then it's bringing it back down. It's like I don't need to. If there's experienced investors coming, cool. But a bunch of who don't got $20,000 these days? Everybody got $20,000.
Right.
So everybody got it, right? So they shooting down there. But listen, man, I definitely want to come down, man, for September to check that out. I want to learn more. You know, I know you build with cinder block.
Yeah, we build with blocks.
Is that a requirement?
No, we could do wood, but blocks down here. I use blocks because I don't want no termite damage. Plus, we got the hurricanes, so you want something that's more solid. That's kind of like Three Little Pigs. Three Little Pigs. How many houses will be up? Which one lasted the longest?
Yeah, nah, yeah, definitely them blocks, man. But nowadays, man, I think shit, wood might cost more than blocks these days.
Right, or around the same price, so it only makes sense to do. Only thing with good with wood is quicker. You better do it quicker. But once you
Okay.
after they start framing, you're done and ready for drywall. You hit the rough plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, then you ready for drywall. But when you do blocks, you still got a lot of inspections they got to do. Then you got to wait for the plumbing. I mean the framing after that. So it's like throw you back probably like a month or so doing blocks. But
Okay.
you do
But
framing.
you gonna hold it for a long time, like I said, you
Yeah,
ain't gotta worry about the termites and everything else.
if something you're gonna hold, yeah, you gotta go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do the block. But if something you're gonna sell, you can go ahead and do wood to get it done. Cause
Oh,
you know,
and enough money. Yeah,
well,
that makes sense. So that makes a lot of sense, man. So like I said, I mean, my thing is like I'm a forever student, right? So wherever I can learn from anybody, I'm always wanting to take it, But I will say the only thing about me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting that. I'm getting that green eye monster looking at Atlanta, man. All them boys, and they're doing houses for 1.4, 2 million, 3 million. Like, yo, they killing it in the A. I'm like, man, I need some of that. And they be pre-sold. And they get them
right,
pre-sold. I'm like, yo. And like this is a boy named Patrick Henderson I follow, right? I've never met him before. But he said one day that he puts in the Zen room. I'm like, I want a Zen room. Like, yeah,
right,
I want a Zen room. So I'm looking at them boys doing Atlanta, and the thing is, they like out in the country. In Atlanta, they out in the country, and
right.
getting 2 or 3 million. I'm like, yo, I need to, and like, it's great to just see like these young black boys doing it, like without just looking like society supposed to tell you how to be acting. They just regular, they can be whoever they want, but they just got all these houses over here for $2 million. You don't even know. It's like, they really getting it down there, and there's a lot of them. It ain't like a few. It's a
Yeah,
bunch of them getting $2 million cribs. I'm like, yeah, all right, I gotta get my weight up, man. All these houses for 200. I got all this work for 200.
they stay getting money up there in Atlanta. Some
Yeah,
kind of way you gotta keep money.
yeah. It's different, man. When I realized, I knew it was money in Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
Well, when I was down there, I did go down for Invest Fest. I'm going this year to the Invest Fest, and I had a meeting at Tiffany's. It's called, what's that, Breakfast at Tiffany's, something like that, right? So our meeting was at 11 o'clock on Friday, and there was an hour and a half long wait on a Friday afternoon. So I'm
yeah,
like, all right, cool. It's Friday, people, whatever. So I was like, all right, Monday, let me go Monday, and we out of town. An hour and a half long wait on a Monday for breakfast. I'm like, yo, nobody goes to work. How is it an hour and a half long wait for breakfast on a Monday morning?
right.
And the thing is, breakfast is fast. Pancakes, eggs, bacon, get them out of there. Listen, the valet parker was busy on a Monday. I'm like, yo, they get too much money down here.
Right.
I don't have that way. So no, it's different, man. So when people come down to your program in September, like, what are you going to teach them?
Basically, what we do, we got Gigi. Gigi gonna give them the credits. Credit gonna do the credit repair for them. I pay for that when they sign up. Like she gonna get up. That's on their credit, so we can help them get the credit card. And then what she's gonna do? She's gonna speak to them and tell them how to get the high limit credit cards, where to get them from, how to hide the utilization. And then what I do, I come in and teach you the 40 steps on how to build a house. Give you all the steps, all the game on how to do it, from hiring your contractors, how to get a GC, go up under the GC license, so we ain't got to have a license, how to find our own subcontractors, and then just the whole play on how to do it, how to pay them. And then after that, we have some people come in and speak. We have the hard money lender guy come. We got the architect, engineer. We have some of the workers like electricians, plumbers, all of them come through and just let them ask questions that they may have and tell them like what they do, how they do, what to look for. That's the first day. That's on a Saturday. Then on that Sunday, I take them around to all the projects I got going on. All of them in different phases. So I kind of like show them like this how we got here, this what's next, and answer any questions they have. So basically, they get to see everything that I just taught them the day before. You get to see it live. So you get a vision of everything that you seen, that you heard about. And that's the boot camp. That's the 2 days.
Okay, no, it's a lot. So my partner Justin, we did one of those here in Philly. It wasn't nowhere near as intense as what you did. We did it one day. It was one day. We were in the field for the morning time, went around the project, and then we ate lunch. At the noon, we were in the classroom. We're going to do like a mini one coming up where it's just a half a day. 'Cause a lot of people really just want to learn about the construction piece, right? So we like, you know what? Cool. We'll just give them the construction piece and give them a little bit of everything else, right? But like my specialty more than anything else is helping people to find them off-market properties, how to find, how to get like direct to the owner at a consistent level, right? And like one of my sayings that I tell people all the time is, I believe in automation and delegation, not perspiration. Right, I don't want to do no hard work, and I don't want to sweat. So I have my team do all the hard work. So all I gotta do, all it does, I'm telling you that I got. All I gotta do is just check my text message, just check my email, and it'll say I'm Ms. Johnson. I want to sell 123 Main Street and all the notes, and I just gotta call back and lock the deal up. So all that, I'm a licensed realtor, but I know realtors getting away, especially because 95% of realtors don't know a damn thing about real estate. Right? The realtors, they know how to convey a property, but how a property works, what a good deal is, no idea. I've had realtors call me on a FaceTime like, "What's this?" Like the hot water heater. Is it gas or is it electric? It's electric. I'm saying like this and that. Like, what's this right here? It's an oil tank. Right? Like, so you out here, people out here trusting you with $500,000.
You don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I know most filters don't know a damn thing, right? And so, like I said, my thing is focus on finding a deal, because if you find the deal, you could fumble and still make money, right? Last summer I did a deal here in Philly. It was my first time ever trying to do a subject to deal, and I fumbled it. I fumbled the deal so bad, and I had to end up selling the property. But fortunately, I still had a good rapport with the owner, because she had to come back and sign off on it again because I ruined the deal so bad. But I was still able to I made a lot of money still on that resale. I still made a lot of money, but it's just like learning how to buy right. It cost me an additional $5,000. I gave her $5,000 for keeping to help me to clear the deal up. But I bought it from her for $60. I put like 30 or 40 into it, and I sold it for like 180, and I gave her extra 5,000 for her help. And I'm an agent, right? So I only got to pay, one side commission anyway.
Right.
So it wasn't that bad. So I fumbled and still made a lot of money. I'm saying, like, I'm learning subject too. That ain't really my twist, right? I think I'm gonna try. I did one more deal subject too, and ended up too bad. But I don't think I'm gonna do too much subject too. I think I'd rather just own that thing.
How you fumble?
So the paperwork was all wrong, and the bank didn't. I even had a notary, and the bank didn't accept any of the paperwork. And so I sent the 3 payments in for the mortgage payment. The bank mailed the money back, but here's the thing: that the owner, it was an estate property, and so the bank sent the 3 checks back, but they sent the money back in the deceased owner's name.
Yeah.
So they was like, "We don't even want your money. The paperwork is so terrible. We don't want your money." And I'm like, "God damn!" To the bank. So the house. So what happened is, I did the deal. It was in foreclosure. I had a mortgage on it. So I caught the mortgage up. I paid the lady, I forget, some thousands of dollars. To sign the house over. And so I'm thinking I could just keep the house and make the payments or whatever else.
Right.
No, it wasn't. That ain't how it went. That ain't how it went. The bank was like, we're not taking this. We need all this paperwork here. No. And yeah, and it was a fumble, man. I'm saying here, like, if I can't pay the bank, if it's back in foreclosure, I'm not going to lose my bread that I put into this house. And so I
Right.
had to just go ahead. But like I said, fortunately, me and her set a rapport, and we got the deal done again. She made an extra 5,000 that she wouldn't have got. I made a way bigger bag than she did. But I put the work in. But what she didn't disclose, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. I don't do home inspections. I do the rehab, but the water service was off, and I'm thinking the water just off. No, I had to dig the main street up. But here's the problem, right? If it was on the curb, I could have did it that next week. Because the water, I had to connect to the city, it took me over a month because I had to dig the street up, get a permit to dig the street up,
Yeah.
right? And then run the plumbing. But don't cover the hole up. Wait till the city come back out to inspect, look
Yeah.
at it, and say, okay, we can turn your water on. But it took them like 3 or 4 weeks to come out there and look at it. And so I'm sitting here out there like. But like I said, either way, I fumble, but I fumble forward. So yeah,
Yeah.
subject to is not my twist.
Somebody asking you, do you use any apps to find your lots?
Yeah, I use brosdata.com, brosdata.com. I mean, so like, listen, what's it? So brosdata.com. I'm trying to think of the app. So how I normally contact people is I have so I have appointment setters, right? So it's not the difference between appointment setters and the virtual assistant is my team. They are more expensive than virtual assistant,
Right.
but they're all trained and strictly real estate and appointment setting, whether it's a realtor, because I would use them to call expired listings for me as a realtor for listings when I was doing listings. And then I also use them to find deals for me, right? And they have multiple scripts they use for different circumstances. I'll just tell them my target and they go after it and they set the appointment. They do everything for me. Right. And another reason why I use them is because most VAs that are cheap are like in the Philippines, they're like $3, $4, $5 an hour, right? But they're more expensive, but they speak Spanish. Philly has a large Spanish neighborhood. Like there's a lot of Dominicans here, a lot of Puerto Ricans here. And I did a flip, me and Chuck, we did a flip in Kensington, which is the Puerto Rican neighborhood. And the owner, we bought his property for 90, put 40 into it and sold it for 220. So why wouldn't I pay an extra few dollars if they could speak Spanish, but the Filipinos can't speak Spanish? You know what I'm saying?
How much extra you got to pay them?
So I pay them. So it's three different levels, right? I pay $1,200 a month, but they work for 20 hours a week.
Yeah. Part
You
time.
know, and right, it's 20 hours a week. Now, like right now in North Carolina, because I want to go hard down there, I got it up to 40 hours. It's like $2,000, but it's for 40 hours a week. So they go. And so with that, not
That's for
only,
all three, or that's a piece?
what's that?
That's each or for all three of them?
No, I pay, so it's a team. So
Oh,
I pay for hours.
okay.
I pay for the hours, right? So it's $2,000 for 40 hours. But with that is they not only cold call, right, but they also do text messaging, right? So now the reason why I don't do bulk text messaging is because the carriers flag you with bulk text messaging. And then also when you're doing bulk text messaging, you have to send the opt-in, right? It'll say at the end of the message, it'll say, type stop to not receive any more of these messages. The reason why I have them do it and do individual text, we don't have to do that. And so it's like it's a little more organic when they get that message.
Right.
Hey, Busselina, you're the only Filipino that speaks Spanish probably in the country. You're probably the only one. So, right. And so I have them not only cold call, but they also cold text. you
Right.
know, and they had the system to add so we don't get flagged with the messaging. You know, I think they take hundreds of texts a day, and they go crazy for me, you know, and like that's like I said, you could get that also from what is that? What did I say? Dealsonarrival.com. I'll type it in because I'll forget otherwise.
Oh, so you talk about they do find lots too? Find
Whatever
lots
you
on
want, whatever your target is.
lots of houses.
Right, so it's whatever your target deals on arrivals, whatever
Well,
your
that's it.
target is, right? Because you do your own, I do my own skip tracing,
Right.
right? So what I did is you know through Bros Data, which is my affiliate to PropStream, right? What they do is I'll put the leads in there in PropStream. I'll do the skip trace. They go on PropStream, they export the data, and they upload it in the system, right? I got two CRM. So they use Mojo. They use Mojo triple line dollar. You know, if I'm, for instance, right, if I'm just calling a neighborhood, they triple line dollar. But if I skip trace and I know the data is good, then I might have them only use a single line or a double line dollar because they're going to get through less calls, but you won't have as many callback messages, right? But if I'm just pulling random data, that triple line dollar, both of the numbers, and that's it. If it's good numbers, single line, triple line dollar, and I said I'll just have them use that Mojo, and they put it in, and I said they use go on my prop stream, they do all of that. After I pull it, send the email, you know, done, and the next day they on it, like whatever list I give them, they on it,
Right.
done,
Okay.
you know, and so right now, like I said, I've been using that in North Carolina heavy. The only problem is if it's an older population, the skip traces aren't as good, you
Yeah.
know, because the older people don't have as much metadata, but the young people get, the more information's out there, it's easy to pull the information when the skip tracing.
What about you, Andy? What do you use?
For me, I use Landglide, app called Landglide to help find that's when I'm driving for dollars. I use Landglide, and then sometimes I use it's this guy on Instagram. I buy lead lists from him. Like you could get code violations, or you could get anything you want for pre-probate, pre-foreclosure, all that, and then he skip it for you too, and it'd be like
Okay.
25 cents per lead, 25 to 30 cents per lead.
Oh, on the skip, yeah. So the thing about it, what I was doing when I wasn't getting as many is the one thing that I was doing is I was looking for distressed properties.
Right,
And I no longer look for distressed properties, I look for distressed sellers, right? And because, you know, there's people out here that they not really in a hurry to sell. Like, no, okay, is it a pre-foreclosure, right? Is it a pre-probate? You know, is it an arm's length transaction? You know, like there's a lot of different data fields that and then I try to stack them. You know, like in Philly, I use the mapping tool a lot. So the one thing I do in Philly is I'm looking for multifamily. So there's tools here in Philly that you can see where the zoning is multifamily. So I'll just go into that prop stream and I'll use the mapping tool and I'll map around that area and target that area because I'm going to get more likely to get multifamily. That's what I want. I'm saying, but they don't have that tool everywhere. I know it works here in Philly. You know, I just know because Philly, they tell you like they have a map with a hot zone, right, where everything is zoned, and I just go strictly for the multifamily areas.
And that's in PropStream, you said?
That's not a prop stream, so you can map in prop stream,
Mm-hmm.
but when they tell you what the area multifamily, no, that's a local, that's a Philadelphia city website that'll tell you that, but it's only for Philadelphia. I can't do that anywhere else. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do on my marketing, like it'll be hot, like different color, like for instance, multifamily is orange. So you go in the map, you zoom out, and wherever you see the most orange, you zoom in. Use the mapping tool in PropStream and circle that area, and I just target that area for multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I can't do that anywhere else. You know, so in North Carolina, um, I think a lot of lots down there. You got land, they landlocked. You got farms. Like it's not as cut and dry. It's not like infill lots. It's more for development. You
Mm-hmm.
know, in the city of Durham, in the city of Raleigh, very difficult to get an infill lot. Like somebody told me the other day, they wanted. That's why the lady for the acre, I wasn't really into it for 300,000. Like, ain't no way, because somebody told me they just wanted 200,000 for a half acre, and those counts wasn't but $300,000, right? But now, even if somebody told me they want $1 million, I'm gonna look at it just in case, because you never know.
Right.
You never know. That might be the right number. So most of the time it's not. But sometimes, yeah, like her, like 300,000, you crazy. I'm looking at it like, damn, 300,000 may not be too bad. If I get that thing for 220, I might be hunting my first $1 million joint. You know.
Right.
Who knows if I get that? And like it's
Yeah, like
already
another
subdivided. It's 2 lots. It's already subdivided, right? It's like 0.45 and 0.41 or something like that is what it is. And so it's already subdivided. And the one that's 1.5 million, they're only on like 0.45 acre lots anyway. So I'm like, that's perfect.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. And so, yeah, I don't know. I might jump out the window and buy it for the 3. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, they like you buying them for like 150 a piece. 150.
Yeah, I know, but like if I gotta clear the trees and grade it, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot to
Oh,
do.
a lot of trees and stuff on it.
Yeah, a lot of trees on it. So now I'm like, damn. But like, do I want to risk $1.2 million to sell for 1.5? I don't know. I don't know if that's the
You said they're selling for 1.4 a piece, right? For one house. So you could do two
for
on
one
it.
house, right? You can do 2 houses. Yeah,
That's 3 mil.
that's a good job. You know, that's what I'm on. So now,
more than 5. Well, you could be by the lot. You'd be in for 150 for one lot. You could build on it, just say 400, at least 500. So all that, the rest, the other, you'd be up about 600-700.
well, I mean, like I said, I just got to be able to build for 500. You know, I gotta. The thing is, I'm gonna have to go down there. I'm gonna have to damn near GC myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's the
now,
way to do
what
it.
you find is that DGCs want to be your partner. You know what I'm saying? They want to be your partner with no risk. They charge you so much money, so I'm gonna have to really go down there and then do it myself, so I don't have to pay all that bread, you know, for the GC. But man, listen, if I get that thing done for 500,000-600,000,
That's
man.
very
Man, that's a nice payday. It's a nice payday. You know,
right.
so let's real quick. I'm gonna say this about the Kadar here soon. Somebody asked, how about you want to take that Missy notes?
How'd you get business credit?
How do you get? Okay, that's my language now.
Yeah, that's your lane.
No, so I also own real estate, but I'm not heavy in real estate anymore. So I do more on the financial side. As far as how you get business credit, you just establish an LLC. You don't have to know what you're going to jump into. You can just start it and name it a generic name. Nothing that has like a high risk niche like trucking or real estate is high risk. Credit repair is high risk. So just name it something generic. Start and then start adding trade lines to the LLC. And it takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months to have an established business with credit. And unfortunately, because of the recession right now, they're going to take a peek at your personal credit. So you need to get your personal credit A1 too.
So look, I'm gonna say this, man. So I'm gonna just give people a heads up. People, it's not going to be as bad as the last recession. Everybody, I'm going on record. This is Malik saying this. Nobody else said this. We are going to a recession, but it's going to be one of the shortest recessions in the history of America. Why do I say that? Because every other recession didn't have jobs. Right now, you can't get people to go to work. It's jobs everywhere. Nobody just want them. Right? Every other recession, it was no jobs. This one, listen, they even lowered truck drivers can drive for 18 now. They're like, listen, we need some truck drivers. You be 18 years old now. Right? Walmart is hiring $100,000 for truck drivers. Right? The planes can't fly, ain't enough pilots. Right? You got all these last mile delivery companies. Nobody wants these jobs. Nobody wants to work. But if it gets bad enough, people will fill these positions back up. So I'm going on record. This is going to be one of the shortest recessions in the history of America. So we're going to go into it, but we're going to be out of it probably less than 9 months. We'll be out of recession and back growing again. That's the first thing. Two, the last one of the things that happened to me is I had HELOCs and I had lines of credit, unsecured lines of credit.
Yeah.
And the bank cut me off. The HELOC, it was like, listen, you can't borrow anymore. It's not revolving anymore. You can pay us back though. We could close you out. You could just pay us back, but you can't borrow from it, right? Then I had my line of credit. They cut it from $15,000 to I think $3,000 available.
When was this, Malik?
This was the Great Recession, like '08.
Okay.
You know, they were cutting everybody's line. This one isn't going to be as bad because ever since then, the banks have to go through a stress test. And all the banks are very solvent, right? The banks are just fine. It's not going to be nowhere near as bad as the last one. Also, the last one, we had millions of foreclosures, whereas this one, there's a housing shortage, right? Like people are paying record numbers for houses, right? So it's a lot different. Also, last time they were all these weird loans, like, you know, it wasn't just interest only, it was negative amortization, all these crazy loans, right? This time, the vast majority of loans out there are fixed mortgages at 2.5%, 3.5%, right? So it's a lot of different reasons why this is not going to be as bad as the last time, right? And so I would just say get your coins together because there are going to be opportunities. There's a lot of tired landlords out there, right? People that don't want to buy a lot to build. There's a lot of people out there who still haven't gotten their tenants out from COVID time. And I know in Philly, we still only doing evictions on vacant houses. They're not even doing evictions on occupied houses. So it's going to be a lot of foreclosures coming up for people and a lot of forbearances coming up. So it's going to be a lot of opportunities for tired landlords, but that's not necessarily recession based. So yeah, get your credit together, get your lines of credit together, get your cash together because the opportunities are abundant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like it's too much. It's too many people looking for houses. Like people with regular voucher, or either like first time home buyer programs. People can't even get houses right now because they're getting overbid. So I don't see it happening like that. Like everybody thinking, it's just scaring everybody, make everybody scared, get rid of what they got, or just to get out the way. It's just gonna come through and get everything.
But there is a tsunami coming.
Yeah, you're gonna.
But that tsunami is not coming for 8 to 10 years. Why do I say that? Because you see all of these hedge funds buying all these houses, buying whole communities. They're going to rent them out until they get 80, 90% of their money. They're going to write off all their taxes, everything else. In 9 to 10 years, they're going to put all these houses back on the market. That's going to be a problem. That's going to cause prices to fall. Right, this recession ain't it. Once you got these cats that are buying like 8,000 houses a month, and all these communities that are built to rent. So we're not talking about REITs, right? If there's like a residential housing REIT, their job is to just buy residential housing. These hedge funds don't give a damn about running these. All they care about is the return, and they need a shelter for their taxes.
Right.
Once that's up, in 8 to 10 years, all these houses they're buying are going to be coming to the market. That's a concern. What about that?
Right.
Right. Nobody's talking about that though. Nobody's talking about that. But pay attention. But also one last thing I'm gonna tell you: the reason why you should probably buy a house now. So they're saying housing is so expensive, right? The tools they're coming out with are a 40-year and 50-year mortgage. Do you think a 40-year mortgage is going to increase or lower the cost of housing of a house? Right? Now, most people would say 50-year mortgage bring it down? No, because your payment cheaper, so you can
Yeah,
pay more.
more people.
Right.
So now you could pay more. So the cost of housing is going to go even higher with all these 40-year mortgages, 50-year mortgages we coming out with. Man,
Have you
and
heard of
so
infinite banking, Malik?
I do. So I do have one set up with my wife. Mine. I got to go through another physical. I feel my damn physical for my personal one. I got my whole life, but I feel my physical. So I got to lose some weight and get back into it. But yes, but no. Listen, I love infinite banking. Tell people about it.
Yeah.
People should do it. Tell them about it.
Yeah, so infinite banking, you basically depositing money into an account that can it gives you money back based on how the market is doing, right? So it can be anywhere from starting as low as 5% to I don't know 8%, right? Where if you put it in the bank, your interest rate is what, like 1% or under 1%. So as you deposit this money into that pot, you're able to borrow against that money, right? So let's say that you deposit $100,000 in that pot, in the infinite banking pot, and you take $100,000 out. While you take that money out and you're doubling, you're hustling, creating another form of income, that money is still collecting interest as if it was still in the infinite banking pot. So in reality, you don't have anything in the infinite banking pot, and you're over here on the side hustling, creating another form of income. Now all you do is you just pay it back, and so long as you pay it back within 12 months, you don't pay a fee, and voila, you're you're doubling
And
your
that's
money.
it. So I got into it. My cousin, he has a high cash flowing business, and the way that he uses to pay his taxes every year. So he builds his account up at the end of the year, gets his tax bill. He used that to pay his taxes, and so he repays himself after he paid
Mm-hmm.
his taxes. That's how he's able to use it. Like, damn, that's a good ass idea, because he out there, he got a very high cash flowing business, and he doesn't have any write offs. And so like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, that's smart. And so that's why I decided to go ahead and finally jump into it. But it's an incredible tool, and if
Mm-hmm.
anybody doesn't have it, you should definitely do it. So you do that too? You sell the policies?
I I don't sell them. I do it. I have a policy too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm worth
No,
more dead than alive, Malik.
no, listen, but no, that infinite banking is incredible. But nah, listen, anybody on here, like, just pay attention. Like, it's nothing but opportunity. Like, the reason I'm even in real estate is the three basic needs, right? Food, clothing, and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a farmer, right? I'm not raising hogs, any of that. I don't know how to make clothes, but I can buy these houses.
Mm-hmm.
One of the three basic needs. I did a video I posted earlier that said, forget the recession. At If the market is up or the market is down, people still need somewhere to live.
Exactly.
It don't matter. The difference is how much are you paying for that asset. If the market is
Mm-hmm.
down, then you just don't pay what you would have paid last week for the same asset. You got to find
Mm-hmm.
the asset at a lower price, but still go ahead and get busy. Keep buying, always.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. You know,
Can't stop. You stop, you lose out.
Yeah.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn how to buy right in any market. That's it.
and that's it. And so, you want to answer that question?
Does your hard
The
money
hard money lender
lender fund in
in
Tennessee?
Texas, Tennessee. Yeah, he flying. We got one that flying like all South Florida, but not South Florida, but the south of the U.S. So Tennessee will fit in there. Then we got a bunch of different ones. So it all depends on. They just have some of them have different criteria. Some require you more, some require you don't. But the ones that require less gonna be a higher fee, higher percentage. And their payment plan for.
Is there a payment plan for the boot camp? See, Andy, I told you from the beginning you're talking about my Isaac top three. He can't see.
Yeah, we got a payment plan for the boot camp. What you gotta do is go to my bio, and you'll see the boot camp link in there. Click the link, and then you can hit the funding link, the funding part on it, and it'll. All you need is a 680 credit score, 2 years tax returns, and been on your job for 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months. And then you better get it.
Where would be the best place to find hard money lenders? Do you use hard money lenders, Malik?
Yeah, I use hard money. I use private money. I use them both. I use some cash. I do. So I also do my own personal banking. I say is I just sold the house recently, but that house is my bank, right? I had a second loan on it for like 50,000. So I might buy a house cash and use that house to fix it up and then refinance and pay that loan back, so I could just use that loan over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing it. But at the same time, once again, house was cheap. House was 25, 30,000. Them days, doing that. Them days is
So,
past. To be
so how
honest.
you find your hard money lenders?
So the best way to find a money lender, to be honest with you, just join a group in your market. They're going to
Right.
tell you they're going to tell you your best lenders because everybody's going to be using the same ones. And then on top of that, sometimes and sometimes they might even have it like posted up on the property, depending on the relationship of the lender, right? But I would probably just get into your local community. I'm sure they got local real estate groups, and just ask them. And when you go to meetups, the lender's going to be there.
Right. Yeah. That's what I do too. Found a lot in the real groups, but a lot of times when they know you do real estate, they come to you. Or you can ask other people that's in real estate, like other people you know that's already in real estate. Some of them will give you their hard money lender, some of them won't. It all depends on how good he is.
Yeah.
If you too good to them, they ain't gonna give it to you. But if he alright, they'll give you one of the ones they don't care about, but they ain't gonna give you the plug. But that's
Yeah, nah. So, yeah, not me. Like my thing is, but hard money lenders, man, like I give everybody my lenders because I used to have a scarcity mindset, man. But I kind of, when I realized everybody can get rich, man, like I got what I got, and what's for me is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, couple of my subs, I don't get my subs out. Couple of subs I can't give out, but the lenders and everything else, yeah. Some of the subs, yeah, you get some of the subs, but a few of them, nah. I'm holding them. I'm holding them close.
We need to get you to start using your credit cards, Malik, instead of using your cash.
So I have hundreds of thousands of points on my Amex,
Uh-huh.
because I do my rehabs. So if I'm paying, so even if I get the hard money, I still pay the contractor on an Amex, right?
Uh-huh.
Especially if I don't trust them. If it's
Uh-huh.
something iffy,
Yeah.
then I'm definitely paying them on that, But some only time I don't do if it's a big bill and they don't always take it. Somebody got to pay them in a different way. That might cost me like 3% or two point whatever percent. Like 2.7%. If it's a big fee for that, I probably would think twice about it. But like I said, if you a sub, I'm not really familiar, especially didn't go good just yet, I'm definitely gonna pay you on that Amex. Because Amex, you know what they got? They have excellent attorneys, and I get my money right back.
You could just do the transaction real quick too.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, so
they may want
yeah,
to know. They may want to know how you pay one of your workers with a Amex with the
you said
credit card.
how to do it. So the larger subs, they're already going to have a payment processor to pay.
Uh-huh.
Right.
The smaller subs, I can just do the PayPal commercial, not the friends and family. Friends and family don't work. You don't get the same protection with the friends and family, right? You pay my PayPal, you have to do a commercial, and there is a fee for that. But you could even do it on uh can you do it on not Square, but they can get a Square account, but whatever. They can get a payment processor, and you could just pay them that. Oh, Stripe. I'm at Stripe. They get Stripe account,
Yeah.
not Square. Stripe. Every account payment processor, but that's that.
That's what we teach Andy's mentees when they go through the boot camp, how to extract that money from the credit cards. And at the same time, like I was talking about earlier, they don't know what business they're trying to jump into. We show them basically how to show income on their bank statement by extracting the money out of the cards, depositing into the bank account, and now they're cash flowing they're cash flowing like $45,000 per month. So now when they try to go get loans, it's like you have a business that's cash flowing anywhere from like 35 to, I don't know, $55,000 per month, and you haven't even started the business.
Right. And they could just do that at least as a way to show income. But
Yeah.
yeah, fortunately, I got some pretty solid savings, and I got pretty high cash flow. So that now is a problem. But I didn't start getting business credits a few years ago. The beautiful thing about social media and the internet in general is I had no idea how to go out business credit. I was doing everything my personal credit. I just learned about it. I'm saying, like, I'm 44, right? And people, when I say that, I tell people all the time, when I was in college, nobody even had email. I'm saying, it's like I went to college in '96. Anybody had email '96? Email, like, a few colleges had email '96. We just got email my sophomore year in college. Right? When I went to college, we had word processors. Nobody had laptops and
AOL.
computers. Nobody had computers.
Yeah.
Talking about we had pagers in '96, '97. Right? And then if you had money, you had a two-way pager. If you had money. I'm saying you had to call people at 9 at night with a free cell phone bill.
Weekends.
Yeah, yeah. Man, if you pay $5 a month extra, you call at 7. It's like, and so the younger generation, they don't realize how lucky they got it with all of the new technology. There was no YouTube, there was no Facebook. Oh no, like even this feature right here just came out like 2 years ago.
Right.
I'm saying? It's like, and so I didn't have access to all the information you have now. And listen, in the words of the great Negro philosopher Victor Santiago, aka Noriega, if you can't get paid and the earth is big, you worthless, kid. It's like, yo, there's so many ways. There's so many ways to get money right now. Like who knew that people were making that kind of bread doing trucking or even owning the trucks to deliver for. I didn't know you could buy FedEx routes. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. Right?
Right.
I didn't know about anything about business credit. I didn't know. I mean, people out here making millions of dollars just from posting on YouTube. This is the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich. There's never been all you need to get rich is this. This is it. That's all you need to get rich.
But
Listen,
that ain't
I
what they
tell
use
people,
their cell phone for. They use their cell phone to take pictures and look like they got their bread. They put money to their phone,
man,
to their ear, using for all the wrong reasons. Looking like they
man, like listen, like people out here, like Turo just started like about 4 years ago, maximum. People are
right.
running it back up on Turo. Now I don't trust Turo long term, but for the time being, it's doing pretty good. It's
Right.
for the time being, run it back up. All I getting still is good. It's like it's so many ways. I tell people all the time, right? Even before this, when I had my job at the housing authority, I got suspended, right? But I already had rental income. I was making like $2,000 a month, something like that. So I took my suspension, and instead of just staying home sulking, my wife and we went to Puerto Rico, and we stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. We lived good for that week, right? It pissed my supervisor off when I asked if I could submit some vacation days at the end of the suspension to my vacation a little bit longer, right? But what that taught me was that cash flow was that freedom, right? That's what that right there taught me. So what I did is right before we left to Puerto Rico, I bought the books to learn how to become an exterminator because I'm like, I'm never going to let nobody tell me
Tell you.
that I
Yeah.
can't make no money. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But then I was like, okay, my logic was, it's just Philly. We got more row houses than anywhere else in the country. Everybody got pests, right? So I could go to 123 Main Street. I could spray them down for roaches and ants for $50 on the low, right? But then what I do, I'm gonna go to 125 Main Street and 121 Main Street. Like, hey, Miss Johnson next door, we just
They got
sprayed for
roaches now.
roaches. Like, yo, and she nasty. Like, yeah, she is nasty. Like, listen, I'm here. Let me go ahead and spray your crib too. And then
That's so
now I'm
smart.
making $200-300 a day, and I'm only working for 3 hours. I'm saying, like, you can make millions in extermination, but it ain't glamorous.
Yeah.
Right.
No, nobody want to put that jumpsuit on. And nowadays, you don't even need that whole big backpack. They got the little syringe for the roaches, right? And the box. You need like a handful of boxes for the mice. It's not like, but back in the day, that whole big ass pump. You don't need that no more. You know what I'm saying? All them days is gone. And then Philly, like number one in the nation for bed bugs. You know, bed bug treatment like $800. You know, termite treatments in Philly between how big the house is, how bad it is, between 8 and 1,600 row houses. Because it's only you got to drill the holes in the front, drill the holes in the back, so people can really get rich on extermination. It's like, and how do you get your clients on your phone? If you post every day that you exterminate, people start they gonna DM you.
Uh-huh.
Be like, yo, if you over this way, you know, I got, and they gonna be like, yeah, man, you know, my dumbass friend, but they dog over now, I got fleas. I don't care why I got fleas. I don't care why you got them. Let me get rid of them. Let me get
Right.
rid of these fleas. Understand? And it's like, yo, if you post on your phone every day that you're an exterminator, you're going to get business, and you're gonna go
Solving a
crazy.
problem. Yeah.
Right.
Right. It's like, yo, you can really get rich off your phone. And so most people use this app and they use this device for entertainment.
Right.
This is the most powerful thing we ever had in our you have a damn computing machine in your pocket.
Yeah.
When I was in Raleigh the other day, I was in North Carolina, I was driving around, I had the prop stream map up, and I got my list of houses that now I can market to from my phone. I'm looking
Right.
it up. Oh, that's the house. I call the owner on the spot. You go sell that house? I'm outside right now. You know, it's like you can do whatever. Yo, it's so crazy, so powerful, man. The thing that you could do with this app, and people are taking this moment for advantage. In 10 years, there's going to be history books written about this time in America
Yeah.
between cryptocurrency and digital marketing and everything that you can do. Like, yo, Steve Jobs changed the world, and he doesn't get enough credit. Without that iPhone, none of this is even possible.
You know what added to it though was COVID. Everybody's stuck at home, so it's like now how do we make money? Let's jump
Me
on
too.
IG. Let's jump on Facebook.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Me too. And when at the beginning of COVID, I was like, oh, they said it can be 2 weeks, stay in the crib. I'm like, all right, bet. I watched TV. Instead of like writing movie scripts, I wanted to write, you know, I'm like, I'm doing all the stuff I ever always wanted to do. I got 2 weeks. Like, let me do all this kind of stuff right here, right? And so, and then they went marketing in 2 weeks, like, yo, I'm bored now. And then like, okay, I need to learn how to make money online. And so the thing that I went towards is learning the stock market. And that was a blessing because I wasn't in the stock market. Now it was one point where I made more in stocks than real estate. This was before the war with Russia, all that happened, the market fell. Before that, the amount of money I made in the stock market was insane. I'm like, my God, this is different. And I'm able to do that from my phone. From my phone, I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars from this right here, this thing, right? And so I learned that. And the reason why I became a course creator and writing ebooks is because the very first course that I bought, I paid $40. It was Ty Billionaire's course on trading options, and it worked. I was like, okay, $40, I could pay that, and it worked. And then I paid like $300 for the next one, learn more. I'm like, okay, that worked. And then I paid $1,000 for no, $600. It was 1,000, but he had a special. I paid $600 for that options trading course, and it worked. And every time I leveled up my learning, I made way more money. And
Right.
then I started buying more stuff. When M500 had his sale, I bought that. And the most incredible is I can't speak enough about how that community, like, forget the course, just the community alone is crazy. So I paid that. And then every mentorship I ever paid for, I implement the information and I make way more money than I did from before I had it.
Right.
Right? and so I used to think like, oh, these some scamming ass people. They ain't anybody out there. This ain't real. Anybody. But then I looked at the information like, wait a minute,
It's working.
and I executed what I learned. I'm like, yo, maybe these courses ain't that bad.
Mhm.
You know, listen, and you know, I ended up Neo course is higher now, but I jumped in Neo mentorship when it's 35,000, and it was worth every penny. I'm
I
saying,
jumped into
but other people gonna be like, oh man, this is a scam. I'm not paying that 5,000, 3,000, 2,000. I'm not paying that, and I'm like, listen, I learn more if you don't implement. It's a scam. If you don't execute on what you learn, it's a scam. But if you take what you learn and actually use it and make millions, if I invest 1,000, even if I only get 1,000 back, but I got another skill,
Worth it.
then it paid off, man. So listen, I'm a firm believer. Like, forget Google, forget YouTube. Tell me exactly how to do it. Tell me the steps to do. Let me do that. Let me get right to it. I'm a firm
Right.
believer now. But people saying that people saying courses are scams, sitting at home still trying to figure out a way out. Like, we
That's
done told you
exactly
a
what
way
it is.
out, but your ass didn't want to pay $1,000. We told you how to get out of the situation. But you know, but this $1,000 course is a scam.
That's what they look at. They look at the bulk price, of like how much the course is. Whether like it's Andy's course, like $5,000. Okay, so how much time is it costing you to research all this stuff in YouTube, or how much money are you losing trying to learn this by yourself?
Yeah, no, no, it's crazy. Somebody told me, I think last year, somebody said, why would I pay thousands of dollars for somebody to regurgitate what they learned? I was like, you go to college, right? You went to college, right? The professor learned some stuff, and they charging you thousands of dollars to regurgitate what they learned. How was that any different?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, okay, you can, yeah, I got a point. But it's your perception. You see this person here, and your perception of them is why you wouldn't give them any money.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of get it, right? Because I met Neo when he was in Philly. I didn't know Neo when he was in Philly, right? And so I wasn't really interested in giving Neo no bread. I was like, nah, I forgot. I know, boy, I'm cool. I'm not giving him nothing. And then I started to pay attention to what was going on, and I went to his event in Florida. And this is after I started to pay for a funnel and I paid all this stuff and realized how hard it was. I was like, listen, why wouldn't I go to somebody, Neo the GOAT, when it comes to this marketing thing? There's nobody black better than Neo when it comes to this digital marketing, period.
He
Nobody.
stays in your inbox, every inbox you have.
There's nobody. So why would I want to learn from the best? With the best charging, run it. Let me get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to the best. And I don't understand why everybody else don't do the same thing. Like, if you want to build houses, I ain't build a house, right? If I had never done it, and I want to build a house, and I see every day that Andy is really in these streets putting up houses, why wouldn't I just pay him to learn how to do it? Why would I figure out on my own and make that mistake? It makes no sense.
Right.
You see? I'm gonna just pay Andy a cup. Damn, hold on. How much is the drink?
$5 grand
So
For
why
right
wouldn't
now.
I just? So now, but here's the thing.
for now.
I had an HVAC dude, right?
Yeah.
He came to the house. He bought the system. He put it in. Terrible HVAC bill and lazy as hell, right? We had to go. He had to go back to. He forgot a 45, and instead of him going to the store for a 45, he used duct tape to make the turn. Right,
Yeah.
jack leg. And you know what that cost me? It cost me $5,000. If I just learned from Andy how not to get ripped off, how not to go through the same thing right there, I'd have saved $5,000. So why ain't it worth it? Why am I take $5,000 and add weeks to my job right? Because I didn't have a mentor telling me what to do to say that 5,000. You know what I'm saying? And so people look at the cost rather than the value. What are you going to get from this thing right here?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I'm gonna say is a lot of people have low self-esteem and they really don't believe it, right? And I know it to be true because I had to face that myself, right? I used to tell myself like, okay, me and Malik, you're gonna be a millionaire, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. But then I'm coming home and watching TV, and my
Mm-hmm.
behaviors
Ooh.
didn't match my
Yeah.
wishes
Yeah.
Right.
at all. And then I'm like, damn, Malik, if you like, you said you want to do this, why you not doing it? And it's like, okay, do you really believe it? Right? Do you really believe you have the capability to do these things?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have the capability to do what you said you're going to do, then why are you not doing it?
Yep.
But it takes a difficult, it takes, I'm like, on my mind, like, damn, do I really believe in myself? Do I really believe I can make it happen? But everybody's not going to look at themselves and be like, you know what? I'm not where I'm supposed to be because my actions, right? I'm not where I'm supposed to be because I'm gonna tell you this. Somebody came to some money. They didn't want to, and I'm trying to show them how to invest in real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to invest because it was risky, but they went out and bought a Hyundai. That ain't risky. That ain't buying a Hyundai ain't risky. Like you put a 3-4-year-old Hyundai. Like, yo, what are you talking about? That thing out of here. Ain't no Toyota. That thing out of here. That's a
Right.
risk. You know what I'm saying? But my brother got married in Cancun the other day. In May, went to Cancun. It was expensive. It was like, the room we stayed at was like $700 a night. What's that? He had 90 people there at $700 a night. Plus, they had to get there, everything else, right? The thousands of dollars per person. But none of them people are willing to invest that same money into
In themselves.
themselves and
Mm-hmm.
growing, right? And having to make a decision, like, okay, you know what? Instead of having to fly down here the way I flew down and do this, maybe and having this be my only trip for the year, let me invest in myself to figure out how to better my situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to go on a trip. People see value on a plane ticket, right? They see value in the rooms. They don't see the value in education because it ain't right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The education,
That's
you still got some other steps after that.
that's
I'm
the
saying,
thing, Malik. Is like I used to work for the government. I was a Marine, right? And I did the Marine 4 years, and then I worked for the government for like a total of 18 years. And I got tired of I was going into work, it's dark. Getting out of work and it's dark. I got tired of letting these people put the value on my time. Like, yo, my time is worth more than like $40, $50 that I'm getting per hour.
Man, listen, let me tell you this, right? At the housing authority, I had like an hour for this last almost 2 hours, but I like talking to you guys. It's fun. My first time back in a long time. I appreciate it. But let me share this one last thing for people, right? This is the point where I had to really make a change, right? This is before, I had enough money to go to Puerto Rico when I got suspended. This is before all that kind of stuff. I'm basically check to check. I'm bringing home maybe like 500 something bucks a week. I'm like 50,000 a year or so. My wife probably making like 60,000 a year, something like that. And my wife she joined like one of these travel groups, and she wanted to go on a trip during this week. So she wanted to book it. Tickets were super low. Tickets were like $200 to go to like Guadalupe, one of these I've never heard of before. She was like, let me book the tickets, right? And I'm like, well, you can't book it. Let me put my leave slip in.
Hmm.
And then my leave request was denied. And like, to be the man of the house and go back and tell the woman that you love that I can't go on a vacation because some other man told me I couldn't. Come on now. Some other man told me I'm not allowed to take my wife on vacation. Nah, bro. No, it's never gonna happen again. You know what I'm saying? So, like the look at my wife's face, Now she probably wasn't like, listen, I was embarrassed, I was emasculated. I'm saying it was like, nah, bro, I'm never gonna let no man control my time like that, right? Control what I can and can't do with my wife ever again. Now, the only problem I got with my wife is getting her out of first class. Like, listen, we don't have to go first class every goddamn trip now. Like, come on. Like, yo, we can sit in the back. It's only 3-4 hours. We can sit and coach. But it's not no. I don't have to ask nobody permission. Whenever she
Nobody.
want to go, listen. Okay, are the kids coming or who watching the kids? That's the question. The question is not if we can go or when we could go. It ain't
Right.
that. It's where the kids gonna be. It's the only question,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? But seriously though, man, when you think about that, you let somebody control your time to the point where, and like, it's different when it's just you. But as a like a newlywed person, like us, like 1 or 2 years in my marriage, if the newlywed person, the man of the house, and then somebody else dictating, no, that can't be it. I'm not asking them for permission, and that was like that was the straw at that moment. Like, yo, I gotta get on my shit now. I got to, I
Right.
got
That,
to,
that's
you
Sometimes
know.
it'll be what it takes to get you, get you to get where you need to be. Like you gotta get that from somebody. Like, no, man, I can't. I gotta do my own. I can't let nobody control me.
yeah.
That's like the whole goal. That's the whole goal of getting all this money. Like being able to control your life. Like you getting your freedom back, getting your time back. Like you can't nobody control now. You do what you want to do. That's the whole plan. To be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. I want to get up and leave. I can leave tomorrow. Like I don't know where I'm going, but somebody say, come up here tomorrow. I'm up there.
You're
I ain't gotta
right,
answer
right.
to nobody.
We out there. What it take? Now the only thing is, I got one boss, my wife and my boss. Listen, I wanted to come to Vegas this year. My wife's birthday is May 27th.
Right.
So
You
that
said
means
your
I
wife
couldn't go
and
to
your boss?
Vegas. New York next year, out of the question. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm never gonna be able to get to that conference. If they did that conference the same time every year, I'm never gonna be able to go. I'm never
Right.
going to that conference. I want to go so bad, but I'm never going to be able to go to that conference.
Yeah.
So my wife, she definitely controlling me on that right there, right? But one last thing, finally, about to get out of here though, is that I like what you're doing, right, and sharing your story and who you are, because like like for your instance, on being in the street, people can see your past and relate. I never been that. You know what I'm saying I never been, and so I don't think that my message really resonates, as much because I can't like really relate so and so. That's why I appreciate, people that actually been through it and show like it's another way, right? I'm tired of seeing these young boys like risking their life for the same amount of money. You could go to Messinos and get 10, 30, $50,000. You don't have to rob no package in your trunk. You don't have to invade nobody's house. You don't have to put a gun in nobody to get this bread. You don't have to you don't have to get your head blown off for no $20,000.
Yeah.
If you got decent credit and show some bread, the same money you're risking your life for, the bank is not going to send nobody after you. The
Yeah.
bank is not going to tie your wife up. The bank going to send you a letter say, "Give us our money back, please. We need it, or we're gonna put some stuff behind your name." Right? The bank is not putting no gun to you,
Right.
right? And so it's like I'm just like, yo, show these young cats, man. It's better ways to make money. It's easier ways to make money, and like taking these penitentiary chances, it just ain't it. And we didn't have the information. Like I said, Google, like this, all the stuff is new. All the stuff is new, and right? And so it's like, all right, it's out there. So now the only thing is that exposure, getting the message out to more people, right? You don't have to. You could do drop shipping, you could do digital marketing, you could do whatever. I'm willing to bet you can make more money if you get a good ass weave line. You can make way more money than dope ever gonna make you. You can sell on weave. Look at Taylor Chiefs going crazy selling hair. Out of here. Listen, and people look at it. Look what Earn Your Leisure did in the past 2 years.
Oh
Multi-million
my
dollars.
God, they
Wall
blew
Street
up.
Trapper, multi-million dollars. MG, like the list goes on just from 3 years of being consistent. Multi-million dollars. And the goat of all goats, Pinky from Slutty Vegan. What she got a $800 million valuation out of a food truck in 3 years? Come on, man. $100 million valuation. Come on, man. And so, like, we just gotta continue to share the information, get it to the right hands, and hopefully people will execute on something. Whether you holler at me or my thing, whether you holler at Andy, Miss C Notes, get a mentor, get somebody, learn the information. I'm not saying everybody in a scam, but do your Googles, find out who is real and who is not real. I'm somebody I can spot the real from the fake. I never met anyone from my life. I just see what he's doing, and the people that's not in house every day probably ain't got no houses. I'm saying people that's not showing you every day probably ain't got that. So just go ahead and look back, scroll back, and see what people are actually doing out here, and can you learn from that? I'm an experienced person. I made millions of dollars in real estate, own $1 million in real estate. I'm gonna continue to make bread in real estate, but I can still learn something from Andy, and I plan on coming down and learning something from Andy. So if you haven't, go ahead, get your tickets before it's sold out, and I'm gonna see you in Clearwater.
Yes, sir.
Yay.
Waiting on it.
All
Gotta
right.
come down. September
Where
10th,
can they?
September 11th. Go ahead. What you say, Gigi?
No, I was gonna ask Malik to say where they can find them. And I know you said you have ebooks, right? And you have a course too.
Yeah, so right now, everything that I'm doing is really going to deals on arrival, right? That's it, deals on arrival. Because right now, a lot of you, I'm getting kind of frustrated, like teaching the live courses and everything. And so I'm gonna just take the most important part, in my opinion, and really focus on that, and that's deal finding. I'm trying to create an army of people that master deal finding. I don't care. I'm not telling anybody to be a wholesaler. I'm not telling you to fix and flip. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just telling you to find a deal. That's it. And it's up to you to determine what you do with it after you find it.
Let's get in the game. That's the whole thing.
Get in the game.
What if I
My man Ramon Touch was good, baby. That's the legend right there,
Yeah,
Ramon.
I let him on too.
That's the legend. So, but all right, listen, I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna go drink me some cold water. I'm gonna chill out. Play my son a little bit before he go to bed, and I'm done.
All
All
right.
right,
All right,
Appreciate you.
Malik.
Appreciate you being
all
on
right,
there.
God. That's it,
All
y'all.
right.
Bye. Thank you.
All right.
Andy, did you want to answer these questions that are on here? Or never mind. I'm gonna see if I can get him back online to answer these questions that are left. Yeah, let me try to bring Andy back online real quick. That way he can answer the questions that are left on here. Busselina, can you text him? All right. All right, guys, let me try to bring Andy back online. It's past his bedtime or it's dark, so he had to go home. What questions did you have about the bank statement?